Everyone, and welcome back to Too Long Didn't Watch, where today we're going to be focusing in on some of the CSA teams that will be participating in PMWC. Jason, we did the watch parties, we know what to expect, but we have to talk about our champions of the region of 4MV. What do you have for us?
Well, first thing I'm going to say is I remember back at PMGC, we had talked about this. Overhyped was probably the one word we would kind of use to describe 4MV. However, I don't think overhyped is a proper term to be used anymore. I think they're adequately hyped because this team was dominating the entire league stage and of course the finals. But the really impressive thing about them, Max, has to be they're one of the only successful teams in PUBG Mobile history to be able to run a 5-man roster properly.
Yeah, I really like the rotation we had around Aero and Baron in particular, and I think that this is kind of the new generation of PUBG Mobile esports teams, so I am very excited to see if they can also bring the hype from CSA into PMWC. Though looking at their competition right behind them, we did have Falcons here, which Falcons, compared to 4MV here, Jason, have a lot more experience when it comes to international tournaments. You say it like PMWIs in the last years, PMGCs, now PMWC this time around. This is going to be, I think, a team for a lot of people around the world here to beat in this event.
I mean, there's a lot of expectations on them, right? Being one of the best teams in the world, now under a new banner with the form of Falcons, which has a lot of money behind them as an organization. And I don't think they're an organization that settles for second. So I think there's a lot of pressure on them to perform. But the one thing about them that really kind of surprised me during PMSL was they lost a lot of these clutches that they probably should have won. They lost a couple of like 1v3s, 1v4s. Yes, we saw them win a 1v4 with top up against IHC, but it seems like their heart wasn't really in to playing at 100% the entire league stage until they got to the finals.
As long as you have top, I think they're going to be okay, Jason. And also, they're going to have Kalaris normally supporting him in the background. So, no, that's all
true.
The support you're going to need.
That's true. Well, you know what? There is another team that needs support here, IHC, because this team was very underwhelming the entire time. They're the reigning PMGC champions, and yet they kind of like barely made their way into finals. Well, I guess they didn't barely make their way into finals, but they barely made their way into PMWC, scraping by with a 5th place finish in the last match.
And they got very lucky because it was an Everest circle too, which is right next to where they normally drop. So very lucky on that one. I think we expect a little bit more. But I think one of the big question marks for IHG here, Jason, is they were not really playing around Alex, which I think is one of the most experienced players from all of Mongolia. Not having him play that much for your team was a little bit surprising. So I do wonder what we can expect from IHC in terms of player rotations into PMWC, because we know as a fact, right, that they're going to lose Alex and Demo. They're going to be leaving the team normally after PMWC. So, you know, it's going to be a last ride here, and I'm intrigued to see if they can wrap it up in style this time around at that event.
Well, we're going to find out. PMWC is just a few weeks away, so let us know who you think is going to perform well in PMWC in the comments, and we'll see you next time on Too Long Didn't Watch.